Oh, you've given up again? You don't feel like it again? You keep giving up because you're motivated by the wrong things. I applied once and they said no, so I guess that's it for me. Like what? Like they said no and you're gonna give up? That's it? Your future self is literally counting on you not to give up. The kind of motivation that fades fast is rooted in comparison, validation, or misalignment. What you really need is a deeper, more grounded motivation, something that can keep you steady even when things get hard. Because right now you're just chasing results. You want the reward, but you haven't found your why. And until you do, every setback is gonna feel like the end of the road. So I wanna tell you the truth about what keeps me going and keeps me voted when I really just wanna quit. Because the journey to build your dream life and chase your goals, it's not easy, but it is possible. Let's get into it. So many people think that motivation is just about writing your goals down and saying these affirmations, but really that's just surface level motivation. If you find yourself always giving up after a period of, feeling motivated, it might be because your motivation is based on a couple things. Things like comparison, pressure, wanting to prove something, wanting to look successful instead of actually becoming successful. The problem with that kind of motivation is that it's always going to run out. It runs out fast, very unstable, and when things get hard, it just crumbles. That real motivation has to be rooted in purpose and alignment. First things first, you want to have a visual example, visual inspiration. I went to the Beyonce concert a couple of days ago and listen, that woman is a machine, okay? I love watching her perform and just seeing her excellence, her commitment to perfection, and just like her hard work and sacrifice all rolled up into one. It reminds me of how powerful it is to master your craft, to become so good, so committed that your work is undeniable. Before y'all say she's a celebrity, she has all these resources, she didn't always start like that, okay? Everyone started from the bottom, even Beyonce. And I just love using her as an example of what it looks like when you're focused on one thing, when you stay motivated through all the ups and the many downs and stay committed to excelling at your craft and what you're doing. It really just shows me what's possible when you give something your all. And so yes, even though she's very unrelatable right now, she's still a great motivator for me because she's a visual example of what it looks like when you stay motivated, don't give up, and just keep at it. Find something that visually motivates you. Like it doesn't have to be a celebrity like my example. It could be someone in your family. It could be a friend, whatever it is that visually motivates you, that anytime you see that, that's just like a physical real life example of what things could look like if you stay the course. Find something and find what that is for you. I know a lot of people like using vision boards as their sort of visual inspiration and pinning things. So if a visual board works for you, that's fine. You can sort of use Pinterest or whatever it is to put together a vision board for yourself as your visual motivator. But even though you use a vision board or anything like that, I still want you to find like a real person, a real example, because a lot of times when you're pinning all those things on your board, it's like you don't know who these people are. I want you to find a real example, a real person, and use that as a visual motivator of what success looks like and what staying the course looks like. Another way to stay motivated is putting yourself in environments that inspire you and doing that often. I think a lot of times people think motivation is just something that happens to you. A lot of time you have to make it happen. Like you have to find ways to motivate yourself, and putting yourself in those environments that inspire you is a perfect way to do that. So to give you an example, I realize that when I go outside and I'm listening to my favorite classical music playlist and I'm just walking outside in the park, I get so motivated. I get a lot of creative ideas. I feel really inspired. It's just something about being outdoors and feeling the sunshine or the little breeze that just makes you feel like you can have another go at life. So whatever that is for you, I know a lot of people, it's being outdoors. Sometimes people feel motivated just like hanging around family, hanging around friends, or just being like at networking events or specific places that just make them feel inspired and remotivates them to commit to their goals. So whatever that environment looks like for you, make sure that you're putting yourself in that environment very often. And even if it's not an environment, maybe it's listening to a certain podcast, listening to a certain YouTuber, listening to certain music. There are different things that we experience in our day-to-day that make us feel motivated and inspired, but the things like we don't commit to doing it enough. So whatever it is, or whenever you notice yourself in situations that inspire you or remotivate you, or for some people, it's even just talking to people, conversations with certain friends, their mom. Anytime I talk to my mom and I drop the phone, I feel like I can take over the world. So I make sure I call my mom often. So whatever that is for you, whether it's a certain person or it's a certain place, make sure you're putting yourself in that situation often just to keep you motivated. Another powerful thing that keeps me going is envisioning my future self. Anytime I think about Toby in the next 5 to 10 years, where does she live? What is she wearing? What is she doing? That motivates me. One of my greatest fears really is that in the next 5 years, I don't want to be complaining about the same things I complain about now. So if I'm still complaining about my job right now, I don't want to be complaining about my job in 5 years. So what can I do now to make sure I'm not complaining about my job in 5 years, or whatever that looks like for you? So envisioning my future self, envisioning my future life is a great motivator, probably the number one motivator for me, because I'm like, okay, I need to get up, no more excuses, no more procrastination, because I want to make sure that I'm actually working towards my future self. Like, she's counting on me. She's counting on me to do the things that I need to do today to get to where she is in 5 years. So envision your future self. What kind of life are you living? Like, get very granular. Like, where are you living? Like, what did you eat for breakfast? Like, who are you talking to? Who's at home? Where did you vacation? Like, get very detailed into what your future self is doing and use that to motivate you every single day. Your future self is literally counting on you not to give up. Similarly to envisioning your future self, I think it's very easy to give up when you don't have a North Star. Like, what is your main vision? What is your main goal? Why are you doing all the things that you do now? So a lot of times I find myself giving up on projects or things that I just started just because. And I'm not just talking about hobbies that you do just for ease or relaxation and there's really no end goal. But sometimes when you're doing something that's not really in alignment with you, it's like, why am I doing this? And then it's very easy to give up, because when you have those moments of feeling down, of feeling discouraged, of feeling lazy, of feeling like, I just don't want to do this, and then you have nothing to sort of remind you why you're doing it in the first place. So last week I had like a very long day at work and I was supposed to go to my acting class. Y'all, when I tell you, I did not want to go to that class. I was coming up with every single excuse. I was like, I'm just not in the mood. I don't want to do it. I just want to go home. But I remembered why I was doing it, right? Like, you're going to acting class to get better, to get more confident in your skills, so that when you go to auditions, you're more confident, you can book something, and then you're being creative and doing this thing that you want to do. So that was my why. But if I was doing something and I didn't have a why, like maybe it was something else I wanted to not do, and it was like, okay, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because everyone else is doing it, or because I think it's something I have to do. If I had some sort of reason that wasn't really holding its weight, it'll be very easy to give up. So that's something you need to think about. What is your North Star? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? A lot of times we're doing things because we see other people doing it and you just think it's something you have to do. You see everyone like creating content, even though you don't really want to be a content creator, you start doing it because you've heard that's what you need to do to like escape the rat race of a 9 to 5. There are other things to do to escape the rat race of a 9 to 5 that's not creating content. So that's just another example, but just look at what you're doing in your life right now and literally just ask yourself, why am I doing this? And it'll really surprise you what you come up with. Like, a lot of times you realize, like, I actually don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. So find your North Star, ask yourself the why, and you'll find that the things that you actually have a legitimate reason for, that feel in alignment with your dreams, with your interests, with your passions, those are the things that you don't give up. Finally, I want to talk about resilience, because I think that being resilient is actually a character trait that not a lot of people have, but I believe that you can develop it. So I realized, like, just like interactions with friends or talking to people, they'll be like, you just never give up, you keep going, like, how do you always do this? And I realized that being resilient is actually something that can come naturally to you, or you have to develop it. So ask yourself, are you naturally a resilient person? Because I talk to people so many times that like would apply for an internship or apply for an opportunity or reach out to someone, and they're like, well, they didn't respond to me, so I mean, I'm not gonna message them again. Or like, I applied once and they said no, so I guess that's it for me. Like, what? Like, okay, they said no and you're gonna give up? That's it? Like, I can't even, it doesn't even register to me, because I'm like, okay, they said no this time, but I'm gonna ask again, and I'm gonna keep asking until they tell me to leave you alone or they say yes. So being resilient, if that doesn't come naturally to you, you have to develop it. There are so many times you get no's for things, like so many of the jobs I've applied to, so many of the internships I applied to, so many opportunities I've gone for, I would DM, I would email, cold silence, nothing, no response, nothing, or it's a no. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep trying again. I'm going to try. To me, I even almost expect a no the first time, and I already know, like, I'm going to have to keep going for this thing multiple times. So that's how you need to sort of reconfigure your brain. Like, okay, this is probably going to be a no, but it doesn't mean this is like I'm going to end there. I'm going to keep going and trying. So you need to build up that resiliency. It really helps you to stay motivated, because even sometimes when I have like a really big setback and I feel sad and I'm like moping in it for like 1-2 days, I know that I'm just going through that moment of feeling that emotion, but I already know, like, I'm going to try again. This is not going to be the end. There's really no way around it. Like, people are going to say no to you, doors will close, but you can't say no to yourself. Like, please don't say no to yourself. I hear this all the time. You really only need one yes, like one opportunity, one breakthrough. And I just don't understand why you would take yourself out of the game because somebody else told you no. You have to keep showing up. So just to wrap things up, just because someone doesn't give up or is always motivated all the time doesn't mean they're superhuman. They're just making intentional choices and staying connected to things that are in alignment for them so that they can stay motivated. So again, remembering to stay connected to the right things. So having visual inspiration, knowing what your North Star is, being in alignment, being resilient. If you want to stop giving up, stop relying on shallow motivation and really just start building a life where inspiration and discipline are a part of your daily routine. So if you take one thing from this video, just remember that your dream life is not going to build itself. You have to build it. All right, lovelies. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I love to make videos inspiring people to build their dream lives and become their dream self. So if that sounds like a journey that you're on, please say hello in the comments. I would love to hear from you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.